Straight ahead on 12 News, training for a big day. What's the goal for getting young kids on skis? Then,
and for the Golden Gophers, ranked #1 in the nation.
a look at a city manager's other job. But first, a proposed light rail plan that would impact fewer homes.
We will reduce the acquisitions significantly, and we'll live within a smaller footprint.
12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone. Brooklyn Park will learn more tonight about a construction plan to make room for light rail.
Hennepin County Commissioner Mike Opat and the Met Council will present a modified plan that may have less impact on residents. Cassie Bonstrom joins us now with more. Cassie?
Well, the City Council discussed a reconstruction plan along West Broadway last June, but they tabled the decision because there were just too many unanswered questions at the time. Now, Commissioner Mike Opat has answers in hopes that the plan can move forward with the city's blessing. One of the city's biggest concerns was the impact the construction would have on residents living along West Broadway between Candlewood Drive and 93rd. Opat says their revised plan cut the number of properties affected in half, meaning fewer homes would be demolished. Opat says there's no way to satisfy everyone and some homes will have to go, but the mass transit project is for the greater good.
I think it's vitally important for the northwestern suburbs to be connected. If you looked at a map, if we could show a map, you would see without this connection, we're going to be out there as an island amidst an otherwise connected region.
Now, Andrew Boadu is one concerned resident who will be at tonight's council meeting to hear the presentation. He lives just a stone's throw away from West Broadway and says his home will be affected by the light rail construction. He understands the benefits of the project, but has some concerns about the noise.
The noise of the road and including with the railway coming, you can't sleep. I'm going to tell them they have to come and stay here just 1 hour and see what we are talking about.
No decisions will be made at tonight's meeting. Opat and the Met Council are hoping for feedback, however. They will return with the findings in April or May. And meanwhile, the Met Council plans to host workshops over the next few months for the residents whose homes will be acquired, and they will get some information in the next couple of months.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Cassie. 2 men are in jail after police say they robbed a TCF bank in Crystal. The armed robbery occurred on Sunday shortly before 2 inside the Cub Foods off of 36th Avenue. Officials say one of the men gave a teller a note demanding money. He also said that he had a gun. Police were able to track the getaway car to an Arby's restaurant in Brooklyn Center. That is where officers arrested the 2 men. No word yet on who the suspects are.
A Brooklyn Park man is charged in Anoka County in connection with a police-involved shooting in Blaine. 29-year-old Lamar Sullivan-Armstrong was in court today. Police shot and wounded him more than a week ago when he raised a knife toward them as if he were going to stab them. It all started when he was running through a Blaine neighborhood, hit a woman's car, and kicked in the front door of a neighbor's house. That's where he allegedly picked up several kitchen knives and threatened police. He is charged with burglary and assault.
A Crystal family is okay after a weekend fire destroyed their home. It happened on early Saturday morning in the 5600 block of Maryland Avenue. West Metro Fire Chief Sarah Larson says a child in the home woke up to the smoke around 2 a.m. and alerted the family. They were all able to escape without injury, and a dog was revived on the scene. Larson says the fire appears to have started in the kitchen, though it is still under investigation. It was a little tougher to get around the West Metro Monday morning when a motorized lift fell off a trailer on Interstate 494 before 10:30. It forced authorities to close 2 ramps at the intersection of 494 and 394. It took more than an hour to get the cherry picker uprighted and removed. A building project that more than doubled the size of a gymnasium space at Maple Grove Junior High has formally opened over the weekend.
Officials say it addresses a demand for more basketball and other indoor sports.
The ability for us to provide for basketball opportunities for the younger age kids was limited because of the basketball space that was in our community. This will now, and already has, created a great new opportunity for 3rd graders, 4th graders that were out here practicing earlier.
3 new full-size basketball courts were built in less than a year, but the city, the Osseo School District, and the Osseo Maple Grove Basketball Association worked on the $8 million project for 8 years. Because of a shortage of basketball space, some teams never got a chance to actually practice. Officials are now planning year-round training.
We're working on the calendar, we're working on the schedule. There's going to be a lot of opportunities during our winter season and in the off season for the youth of this community to practice basketball throughout the year in this facility.
With the new gyms, the future could include a new basketball program for kids as young as kindergarten. Brooklyn Park's former city manager is starting his new job in Bloomington.
Jamie Verbrugge left the Brooklyn Park role on Friday. But as Delane Cleveland explains, he also has another job that he doesn't plan on leaving anytime soon.
If you look at all the good things, you'll see Jamie's fingerprints on a lot of stuff.
A who's who of Brooklyn Park's city and community leaders gathered last week for a farewell celebration.
On behalf of the city of Brooklyn Park, I want to thank you, Jamie. I wish you well, unless we're competing for the same business.
In honor of city manager Jamie Verbrugge, who decided to leave Brooklyn Park for the same position in Bloomington.
To try to replicate the success that we've had here in another community is one of the things that was attractive to me.
He's been a prominent figure in his nearly 7 years in Brooklyn Park, helping to announce parades.
Well, they're a hardy bunch up here in Brooklyn Park.
And speaking to the city council about important and sometimes complicated issues.
Legislature several years ago increased the maximum levy amount that cities can collect.
Yet there's a completely separate segment of the Minnesota population who know him for an entirely different reason. Jamie Verbrugge is also the in-house voice of the Minnesota Golden Gophers, announcing player introductions, scoring, and promotional spots during timeouts.
All right, pucker up, fans. It's time for the TCF Bank Kiss Cam.
It's nothing related to city management work. It's a way for me to connect with the university in a way that's special for me.
It's special because he has a front row seat. He's held this job since 1988 when he was a sophomore in college, and from there, his role expanded.
I could not imagine an event without Jamie. He's actually now involved with football, basketball, men's hockey, and wrestling he's always been a part of. So if we did one of these without him, I don't even know what we would do.
Take down 2 points for Gilman.
And while he may have left his position in Brooklyn Park for the one in Bloomington, this job in Dinkytown is one he'll hold on to for quite some time.
To get to see the games for free is fantastic, right? And I have the best seat in the house for a lot of it.
In Minneapolis, DeLaSalle, Cleveland, 12 News.
And when asked what his favorite sport was to announce, Verbrugge said, well, that was like asking someone which of his 3 children he loves the most. So well said, and a dream job. I mean, a lot of people wish to have that job. Coming up, starting your own business may not be as terrifying as you think. How to take that first step.
And later in sports, district rivals Maple Grove and Park Center play a close one in girls basketball.
But first, it's your AccuWeather forecast.
Thinking of starting a business, it is a dream for many.
In this week's Business Matters, a look at how to take that important first step. The road to starting a business begins long before the doors open on Main Street. Last year, there were 50,000 new business filings in Minnesota, and getting to that point requires careful thought and research. Enter in the 2015 Guide to Starting a Business in Minnesota. The free Green Book is put out each year by the state's Department of Employment and Economic Development. Think of it as the Bible for starting a business. State Deputy Commissioner Kevin McKinnon talked with us about what the guide offers.
It really describes the major steps and issues involved with starting a business in Minnesota, from the business structure, whether it's a limited liability company, a partnership, etc., to regulatory matters, to documents that you need with filing with the Secretary of State, to business financing and business taxes. Along with that, there's a directory of all the service providers, including federal and state, and other folks that provide assistance to small businesses and entrepreneurs that are considering starting a business.
If you had to narrow it down to 1 or 2 most crucial points for someone considering starting a business, what would they be?
Well, I think there's probably two questions to that, and the first being is how well do you, the entrepreneur, obviously know the market and know your product, and then the second is what's the motivation, skills, and patience of that entrepreneur. From a market perspective, how well do you know how to make money, essentially? How well do you know your market and your product and how it's made and where it needs to be placed, those types of considerations. As far as the motivation, skills, and patience of an entrepreneur, I think the question is, there's a lot of risk in starting a business, and oftentimes there's others that are involved in that, whether it be your family, investors, the employees that you may hire, or others. So there's a lot of consideration.
And the landscape for starting a business in 2015, are there more challenges or is it easier than ever?
Well, it's never been easier to start a business in the state of Minnesota. And so it's one thing to enter into a business, but the challenges still remain. How well do you know your market? Can you make money in this endeavor? And are you comfortable with the risk that you're taking?
And you can go to our website for more information on how to get a copy of that free business guide. Coming up, why organizers say the Loppet may also be good for a few young minds.
But first in sports, the Cooper boys basketball team scores a win against a rival. We'll be right back.
Benilde-St. Margaret's and Cooper both came over to the new 8-team Metro West Conference this season after a decade in the North Suburban Conference. The Red Knights and Hawks tipped off Friday in boys basketball. After a steal, Cooper's Jordan Marshall goes coast to coast, slicing past defenders to score and giving the Hawks an early 15-7 lead. But after trailing by as many as 10 in the first half, the Red Knights rally. Sam Baker gets to the hoop, tying the game at 20. Later, it's Baker draining one of his 2 first-half three-pointers. He scores 31 on the night, and Benilde leads by 4. Cooper closes the first half strong. Bijan Newburn with the rebound of a missed 3, scores before the buzzer, and the Hawks are up 37-33. And they start the second half on a 13-0 run. Jason Edwards to Damian Gordon for a layup. Then it's Melvin Newburn with a big dunk. He scores 18 points in the night, and Cooper goes on to win the game 76-59. Cooper's district rival Armstrong is having a great season, but the Falcons got humbled on the road against Class 3A's #1 team, DeLaSalle. Sean Burns drives to the hoop for the layup, and Armstrong matches the Islanders in the early going. They keep the ball moving, and it results in an open 3 here for Jerome Dixon to tie it at 10. Dixon leads Armstrong with 21. But DeLaSalle takes over. Sakar Anna misses the layup, but Jeffrey DeBotton is there to dunk the rebound. He scores 16. The Islanders' pressure gets to Armstrong. The pass is thrown away, and Anam slams it home for 2 of his 34 points. More from the dunking Islanders. The alley-oop from Jarvis Johnson to Joshua Collins for the jam. DeLaSalle leads 41-29 at the half. And they pull away from there. Anam drives hard to the hoop in transition. And Armstrong loses to DeLaSalle 89-60. Senior night at Breck as the Mustangs host Blake in boys basketball. Here's a familiar sight. Breck sharpshooter Will Culleton nails an early 3. Henry Cousineau with a great fake. He'll drive from the top of the key to score, plus a foul. He scores 18 points in the night against the Bears. Garrett Opperman throws it ahead to Culleton for the layup. He scores 22, and Breck gets going after a slow start. And it's Opperman with a steal of the inbounds pass. He'll feed Mo Lawal for the breakaway layup. Mustangs go up by 11. Lawal scores a tougher one here. He'll swoop in for the left-handed layup and his way to a 14-point night. Cousineau will hit a 3, and Breck leads by 19 at the half. And they play a much stronger second half, and they win in a rout 70-22. In girls basketball, the 3 teams at District 279 are pretty evenly matched. It's a pink-out night at Osseo Junior High's Maple Grove faces Park Center. Haley Barker with a high ball screen steps back to nail a 3. Maple Grove goes up 19-18 on the Pirates. At the other end, it's into Michaela Hayes, back out to Osseo Iobama-Deli, who banks it in. Park Center up by 1 at halftime. Second half, Maple Grove surges. Emily Dean drives, dishes to Allie Schmidt for 3, and the Crimson lead by 8. But Park Center battles back. Danielle Schaub swings it to Hannah Schaub for a contested 3, and it's good. And that ties the score up at 45 late. After they trade turnovers, Barker drives, almost loses the ball, but sets up Kenzie Barta for the layup. That's the game-winning shot. Maple Grove takes a 47-45 win. The Armstrong Cooper and North Metro girls hockey teams closed out the regular season Saturday. Stars looking for a season sweep of the Wings. Armstrong Cooper on the power play early. Tori Adams' shot is blocked. Rebound comes to Belle Reeve, who scores to make it 1-0, 2:52 into the game. Just a few minutes later, though, North Metro's Emily Ock passes to Leah Yonkers. Her shot goes off goalie Angel Hillstrom and in, and it's a 1-1 game. And it stays that way until midway through the third period. Reeve from the circle shoots and scores, netting her second power play goal tonight as Armstrong Cooper beats North Metro 2-1. We'll have more on the upcoming section girls hockey playoffs Tuesday starting at 4 on 12 News.
All right, thanks a lot, John. We'll be right back. It was a cold Saturday, but that didn't chill the enthusiasm as students from Parkbrook Elementary joined the Minne-Loppet in Worth Park.
Organizers hope that learning to cross-country ski at a young age will also help pay off in the classroom. Wearing matching blue and white hats created for the occasion, students from Parkbrook Elementary arrived at Worth Park in a school bus, but they were anxious to switch their mode of transportation to cross-country skis.
I'm going to take you to get your ski boots.
A non-timed race called the Minne-Loppet is the culmination of a 10-week program in physical education classes at the Brooklyn Park School. The Loppet Foundation provides the coaches and equipment.
During our Phi Ed classes, we've been teaching cross-country skiing, but we're really trying to increase the level of fitness, so we're trying to provide a lot of opportunities for experiences.
An experience they hope kids will remember and a sport they can participate in for years.
I'm just getting ready to ski. I'm gonna have some fun.
But don't tell the kids this, but organizers hope it will also make a difference in the classroom.
Outdoor active lifestyle is beneficial for kids.
Anthony Taylor is the Adventures Director for the Loppet Foundation.
I really believe that we make a difference when we diversify kids' experiences, when we give them new experiences that give them a sense of accomplishment, because what we're trying to do is increase their perseverance and their grit, which we believes will show up in academic achievement.
And before you know it, the entire group is off and skiing.
Just a great opportunity to expand their experiences, see new things, and also be outside and enjoy winter. Spider-Man got out of the way. For the Parkbrook students, this was the first year for the cross-country ski race, but they have been involved with the Loppet organization for the past 3 years. It's really cool.
Yeah, those kids will get the hang of it.
Yes,
That's right.
That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you back here tomorrow. Community Corner is coming up next.